discuss about the second chapter, that is piecemeal distribution of cash. In this class, we have to study next chapter, that is third chapter, sale of a firm to a company. In this chapter, we have to discuss introduction of sale of a firm to a company and conversion of sale, meaning of conversion and objectives of conversion of partnership and purchase consideration, methods of calculating the purchase consideration. Now we have to start the introduction of sale of a firm to a company. As a partnership continues to grow, the partners may decide to convert the partnership business into a limited company. A partnership firm may be sold to an existing company, or a firm may be converted into a limited company, and either by selling or conversion of a converted into a limited company, the firm is dissolved and its books are closed and a business is sold. The purchaser and the partner may be agrees to amount of sales price is termed as purchase consideration. If the business is required more money and meant for its expansion on a big scale, it is rather very difficult for a partnership firm to invest more capital to provide for managerial skills to carry on their business more efficiently and profitability. Moreover, the partner of the firm suffer from the heavy losses, disadvantages from the unlimited liability, unlike a limited company. To sell their business to an existing limited company, the partners of such a firm now become shareholders of a company. The partners of a such become shareholders of a company. Partners of a company. In what do you mean by conversion? Conversion and the meaning of conversion. Conversion is nothing but conversion of a partnership means changing the status of the partnership firm to a company. Changing the status of a partnership firm to a company. For this purpose, a new company has to be formed by a partner for taking over a business of the firm. It is just like a sale of a partnership firm to a newly formed company. Hence, it results in dissolution of the firm and the partners now become the shareholders of the firm. Now the conversion of partnership is nothing but the conversion of partnership firm into a company is called as conversion. Changing the firm to a company. Now what do you mean by next objectives? What are the objectives of conversion of partnership firm to a company? Conversion of partnership firm to a company. The following are the some important objectives or advantages of a conversion of sale of a firm to a company. Now first, for an expansion of a business, more capital is required. ಹೌದಾ? ನಾವು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. Required, this can be provided by the converting the partnership firm into a limited company by admitting more members of a company. Next, the shareholders of a limited company enjoy the benefit of the limited company, and the company is separate entity different from its shareholder members. Therefore, the death or the insolvency of a members of the company to dissolve the company's shareholders. Now the next one is, if the any member of the desire, he may transfer his shares, because the shares of a public company are freely transferable to the public. Next, the members of company generally get more profit by way of dividend. Get a dividend by way of profit. Next one, purchase consideration. Now, what do you mean by purchase consideration? Purchase consideration is nothing but it is a price payable by the purchasing company to the firm for taking over the assets and liabilities. The company may take over all the assets and liabilities or any of them. The value of such assets and liabilities may be taken over at book value or it may be different from the book value. It all depends upon the agreement between the partners. Such price or consideration may be paid in any form like shares, debentures of the company. The ascertainment of the purchase consideration is very important since any mistake in its calculation will aggregate number of entries in the problem. Now, purchase consideration ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಟೇಕನ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಆ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ದ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. Second one is net asset method. First one is net payment method and then next one is net asset method. Methods of calculating the purchase consideration. There are two methods. First one is net payment method and then net asset method. The following are the methods of calculating the purchase consideration. First one is net payment and then second method is net asset method. First, net payment method. Net payment method andre ಏನು? First, under this method the purchase price paid in a cash, shares and debentures. The total value of all the above information, that is cash, shares and debentures, is called as purchase consideration. Under this method the purchase consideration is a total of all the payments in the form of shares, debentures, cash made by the purchasing company of the firm. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ in the form of cash or shares or in the form of debentures. Cash, shares ಮತ್ತು ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದಿ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನೆಟ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೇ ನೆಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ವಾಪಸ್ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಇನ್ನು ನೆಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ according to this method, that is net asset method, aggregate of all the according to this method the purchase consideration is calculated as follows: agreed value of a asset taken over minus agreed value of a liability taken over. Agreed value of a asset taken over minus agreed value of a liability taken over is called purchase consideration. ನೋಡಿ, agreed value of asset taken over minus agreed value of a liabilities taken over. ಆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ಆನ್ಸರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ? ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರೀಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್ ಅಸೆಟ್, ದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಗ್ರೀಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ asset taken over by a purchasing company is calculated and in the form of this agreed value of liabilities taken over is deducted. The total purchase consideration is agreed value of a asset taken over minus agreed value of a liabilities taken over is called as net asset method. Net payment method or direct settlement and then net asset method order. First we have to calculate the purchase consideration amount. After that we have to settle the purchase consideration amount in the form of cash, shares and debentures. Now first method, that is net payment method. Now a net payment method order ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. The X company limited is formed to take over all the assets and liabilities of the firm of X, Y and Z for rupees 1 lakh. The total purchase consideration amount is 1 lakh, which is to be paid by the allotment of rupees 6,000 shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid up, and then balance amount is paid in cash. Now the total purchase consideration under which method is net payment method. Net payment method. First, total purchase consideration. How much? Rupees 1 lakh. Rupees 1 lakh, and they have given the information which is to be paid by the allotment was 6,000 shares of rupees 10 each, and the balance amount paid in balance amount is paid in cash. Now total ನಾವು purchase consideration amount directly ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ and shares ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ? 6,000 into 10. How much? 6,000 into 10 is equal to 60,000. ನಾವು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿವಿ? ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, and the difference amount ಏನು 40,000 rupees ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಿ, we have to pay the difference amount we have to pay in cash. Difference amount cash or ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ in the form of shares or 60,000 rupees ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Now settlement of purchase consideration under net payment method. Under net payment method. Now more form of ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, particulars rupees. Now in the form of shares, 6,000 shares of rupees 10 each. 6,000 shares of rupees 10 each. That is 6,000 into 10. How much? 6,000 into 10 is equal to 60,000. In the form of debenture, total Next, total purchase consideration how much? 1 lakh rupees. Total purchase consideration 1 lakh. Difference in the form of cash. Balance amount ನಾವು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಹೇಳಿ cash in the form of cash ಕೊಡಬೇಕು 1 lakh minus 60,000 is equal to how much? 40,000 is the cash amount. ನೋಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಟ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಈಸ್ X company limited agreed to take over all the assets and liabilities except the investment at book value and the purchase consideration of rupees 1 lakh. Say purchase consideration is zero. Purchase consideration is equal to 1 lakh. Then at book value, the purchase consideration of rupees 1 lakh was satisfied by the issue of 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each. Issue of 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each, valued at rupees 6 per share. Valued at rupees 6 per share. And balance amount is paid in cash. Balance amount is paid in cash. ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಆಗಲೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ purchase consideration. Now particular rupees. Particular rupees. First, in the form of shares. 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each valued at rupees 6 per share and valued at rupees 6 per share. Therefore 10,000 into 6 is equal to how much? 60,000. 10,000 into 6, 60,000. Next, in the form of debentures. Now debentures ಬಗ್ಗೆ information ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ and the balance is paid in cash in the form of cash. Total purchase consideration amount is to ಹೇಳಿ 1 lakh rupees. Purchase how much? 1 lakh. Now the difference amount is paid in cash. that is 40,000. ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹೇಳಿ, ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ನೆಟ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ನಾವು ನೆಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. Next, under net asset method. X company limited take over the assets and liabilities of a firm at an agreed value of rupees 1,50,000 and 50,000 respectively. Assets 1,50,000 and liabilities 50,000 respectively. We have to calculate the purchase consideration amount. In X company limited takes over the assets and liabilities of a firm at an agreed value of rupees 1,50,000 and rupees 50,000 respectively. Calculate the purchase consideration. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹೌದಾ. ನಾವು ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ಹೆಡಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ purchase consideration. Now particulars last rupees. Now in particulars column agreed value of an asset taken over. Agreed value of an assets taken over of rupees 1,50,000 of rupees 1,50,000 less agreed value of an liabilities agreed value of an liabilities taken over of rupees 50,000. ₹1,00,000 is the purchase ₹1,00,000 is the purchase consideration amount. I hope you will understood the problem. Now the next problem is under the net asset method. X company limited took over the following assets and liabilities of a firm at the value mentioned against them. Building 60,000, stock 30,000, debtors 40,000 and goodwill rupees 20,000. The company also agreed to pay the creditors of rupees 50,000. Calculate the purchase consideration. Now they have given the information regarding the assets and liabilities. Now the taken over of the following assets and liabilities. First assets, building rupees 60,000. Next stock rupees 30,000. Debtors rupees 40,000. Next, goodwill rupees 20,000 and creditors of rupees 50,000. We have to calculate the what? Purchase consideration. Now, write out the heading calculation of purchase consideration. Calculation of purchase consideration. Now the particulars rupees. Particular rupees. Now agreed value of an asset taken over. Agreed value of an asset taken over. First one, assets have building rupees 60,000. Next, stock 30,000. Debtors 40,000 and then goodwill of rupees 20,000. Goodwill of rupees 20,000. Now 60 plus 40, 1 lakh 30 plus 1 lakh 50,000. 1 lakh 50,000 is the agreed value of an asset taken over. Now less agreed value of an liability. Agreed value of an liabilities taken over. Agreed value of a liabilities taken over, that is creditors. Creditors is equal to 50,000. Creditors is equal to 50,000. 1,50,000 minus 50,000 is equal to how much? 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh is equal to what? Purchase consideration amount in case of net asset method. Purchase consideration is equal to how much? 1 lakh rupees. I hope you will understood the meaning of introduction of sale of a partnership firm and meaning of conversation and purchase consideration and methods of calculating the purchase consideration. There are two methods. First one is net asset method. Second one is net payment method. I hope you will understood the concept of sale of a partnership firm to a company. Next class we will discuss about the another problem regarding the net asset as well as net payment method. Thank you. Have a nice day.